So hello everybody, we have online class getting out of judgments, and Swamy Pillai is with you and Omanovic is here. Hello everybody. So Swamy, you suggested this topic.
Yes.
Swamy is incredible creator from India. So how are you, Swamy? Where are you at the moment?
Oh my God, Harris, I'm in India in Pune and I'm doing great. Very excited for this class and I'm honored to be here. In fact, so I mean, most of us present here know that I look up to you as my, as my mentor, and to be able to share the platform and co-facilitate is truly an honor. And yeah, so that really brought up a lot of judgments in my universe.
So yeah, so we can explain to other people. Swamy was on my body class in Delhi in January. We met in January, like 6 months ago, something like that, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And now somehow for this month, we are connected with each other and we are creating together. And this is the first online class that we are having together. I need to mute everyone. So, and this is the first class that we are having together. I invited him that we do it. I made his life very uncomfortable. I was so nervous in last hour because I felt how Swamy was nervous before this class. So, and this is what I do. I make people uncomfortable.
Right.
And we were talking about the title, and Swamy suggested this title. So let's talk more about this. Why did you choose this title?
Well, thank you, Aris, for that introduction. So, well, I think one of the thing that I have always been good at and that I have realized after this class was announced was the self-doubt, the self-judgment. So I would judge myself endlessly, at least as far as I can remember, 2 decades. I think I walked in just 20 years before, so I can only remember till then. So yeah, this has been one thing that has been so high. So it has, like, am I really good enough? Can I really deliver? Can I really have success that I'm desiring? Yeah, can I really facilitate the people who come to me? Oh my God, I mean, the list is endless. And I'm sure many of you had this earlier. I hope you don't have that as much as you had earlier. I would like to hope that. So yes, so that has been one of the primary thing, and that has helped me from doing a lot of things that I dreamt of doing in my life. So yeah, that's how this topic came in. I said, let me pick up something that is real and true for me, and I'm already experiencing, so that the energy. So let me work, So it was like till the time the class starts, let me work on the self-judgment. So this is a challenge that I took upon myself. And yes, here I am, and here I'm with all of you. And yes.
Yeah, this is also how I'm choosing topics of the classes. So it's very cool thing, when you need to learn something, just publish a class about it. So you can learn it also for yourself. And also this energy, what you were talking about just now, it's some kind of, it's pretty big and intense. It's like whole India, it's like whole country of self-judgment, of doubting yourself. Like how many people in India don't believe in themselves? And
Oh my God, big time.
It's some kind of huge, yeah. It's like be small, be shy, don't choose too much, and it's pretty big. And maybe we can change something also today.
Yes.
And for me, how I was.
How much fun can we?
Yeah, how much fun can we have? So how I was.
Yeah, how much fun can we have with changing all of our self judgments?
Yeah. So how I was dealing with this in the past is I was choosing uncomfortable. So I was following energy what creates more, even if many choices were uncomfortable for me, I was choosing it. Like to choose also to go on TV, to be part of TV show. I was also on TV or to do Facebook lives, to do online classes. It was always uncomfortable to start. And still I was choosing it from awareness that it creates more and that I would like to do it somehow, even if it's not easy. So, and this is my suggestion also to people, follow the energy what creates more, even if it's uncomfortable. And this is how you're opening different and new possibilities.
Yes. And yeah, and I have been exploring this since this class got announced around this topic, I mean, with myself. And I was judging myself big time, like how I would come across in this class. Can I answer the questions that people are asking? Will
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I mean I would say I'm proud of myself to have come this way where I'm here, and a lot of judgments have are not present at this point of time. So there are many tools that I have used, and perhaps some of them we can share on this class.
Also, you are lucky because it's online class. They can't kick your ass on distance. You know, it's only online class. And also it's free online class. Like how much you are in bigger danger if people are paying. Like if they pay for the class, how much you need to show even more.
Yeah.
So let's change this. So what is this? What is this self-judgment? And maybe some people can ask some questions about this, or they can share their experience.
Yes.
About their self-judgment.
Yes.
Their doubting.
Yes, hello. So about self-judgment, we can be aware about others' judgment about us. So how can we do the difference between that? It's so true when we judge ourselves. It's so true for us that it's ours.
So how to be aware of the difference when it's not yours? Is this a question?
Yeah.
So you just know when it's not yours, it's not yours. It's just lighter. So people, like some kind of people are going to judge you always. This is the way what they are being. This is the way how they are living. They are just judging everything, and they are judging positively and negatively both. They are just like people are mental, so they do judgment in their head. So a lot of times, yeah, you can be aware of their judgment, and like you are duplicating them. You are having similar or the same like brain activity like people. So you judge everything, and this is what we do. So how much of our life we judge everything instead of just seeing everything as different. So we are polarizing. How much you are polarizing your life? How much when you are also walking like me, like this, you are saying, oh, this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. Instead of just seeing what can you create if you see everything as different and unique. So you don't need to polarize it. So this is brain activity of other people, which you don't need to practice anymore. How much life can be more amazing if everything is different and unique experience, and it's not right, wrong, good, bad, and you are not so much comparing it with anything. We have now also unique class. We don't need to have super great class. It's unique experience. Yeah. Swamy, would you like to
And
say something?
yeah, and also as we say that 98% of thoughts, feelings, and emotions are not ours. So most likely all the judgments that you are perceiving, just 2% may be yours. That's one way to look at it. And yeah, and another thing that I have been looking at is like where it is really coming from, the self-judgment, where it is really coming from. And the one thing that was pretty big in my universe was the right and wrong. Like I have already the society in which we are living, we have already decided what is the right way and what is the wrong way, so that one can judge whenever one is not doing the right thing. And we buy all of this conditioning of how life has to be done, how business has to be done, how relationship has to be done, how this class has to go, how everything has to be. And that's where uh, we go into the judgment of ourselves, of always trying to be right, getting it right. Yeah, and I think once we can begin to see this, that it's all about getting things right and not getting things wrong. And how much are you willing to be judged in the first place? If you can just allow yourself to be judged, and I think there is I mean, that's how I am right now. And like, I'm okay. I'm receiving the judgment, and it's okay. There is nothing right or wrong, and immediately there is a sense of lightness. So yeah, you can.
So one of the things what we are also doing, we are avoiding judgments of other people. We are avoiding, how much are you avoiding that people are going to judge you and that people are going to make you wrong? So you are judging yourself, so they don't need to do it. You are doing this job instead of them. So somehow, less you are creating, people are going to judge you less. So how much you are taking care that you are creating less to avoid judgment, and how much you are judging yourself, so you are doing job instead of other people. So we are avoiding judgments of other people, but if you can just include that some people are going to make you right, some people are going to make you wrong, and it doesn't need to have so big influence in your life. And you don't need to depend so much what people think about you. They think what they would like to think.
Actually.
Like, people judge everything. So some people judge everything wrong. So they are also they're going to find mistake in you. So what? They can just do it if they would like to do it.
Yeah, and also one of the things that is coming is how much of the judgment that people are doing on yourself is not about you, but it is about them. I mean, that is, for me, that is like so big. Like everywhere people are judging about a behavior or about something about you may have actually nothing to do with you, and everything to do with their point of views of what is right and what they have already defined as right and wrong and good and bad and negative and positive. So yeah, I think this is one thing that can really lighten up your universe, where you can see that most of the judgments are not about, even the one people are judging are not about you, it's about them. Yeah, you can play with this and see if that creates more ease.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Alia. Thank you for the question.
Next question.
Hello, Harris and Swamy.
Hello.
A question from Mexico.
Hello.
What to do when we do self-judgment and when we give it back to its origin, to its sender? It's not enough. It's not being enough.
So one of the things why it's not working is because we judge judgment. So what we do, we judge that we judge. So that's why we can't change it. But what you judge, you can't change. You are stuck with it. So what we do, because we learn from other things, what is right, what is wrong, like also from, let's say, religion or something. And then when we are doing also excess, we think, oh, I shouldn't judge. It's not wrong that you judge. So what if you don't judge that you judge? If you like to judge, just judge. So what if you can be interesting point of view about that you are judging yourself and you don't need to judge that you judge. You can recognize you are judging yourself because it's working for you in some way. You are using it in some way. You are avoiding something if you judge yourself. So how much are you judging yourself so other people don't judge you, don't need to judge you so much because you are already doing their job. And what if you don't need to judge that you judge? So what if you like to judge yourself? And just do it if you like it. You don't need to make it wrong that you are doing it. And you don't need to be perfect. But if life is much more simple, you can just relax and enjoy your life. And what we do also with self-judgments, we are using them so we can have control. So we are taking care that we are creating less and we are creating slower. Because joy is uncontrollable. Happiness, joy is something that you can't control. And with judgment, you can control your body, you can control your life, you can stop it, you can make it slower. So how much you are using judgments to recreate your past. So you don't need to create anything new, because when you are creating something new, it might be judged by other people. So how much you are taking care that you are not creating so you can't be wrong. Would you like to say something, Swamy?
Yeah, also how much we have been taught from the childhood about judgment. Like, don't do this, this is wrong, do that. If you don't do that, then this is, you will be punished. So there is something kind of a psychology of reward and punishment. Like if you, so the thing is, how much we have been conditioned to judge and make judgment wrong and avoid judgment. Like the only thing that I can remember from my childhood about what my teachers and a couple of my friends or relatives have told me is, don't do this, live like this. If you go attain this age, and you should do this saving, and you should get married at this age. If you are not going to marry, then at this age, then you're going to be judged. So for me, everything again comes down to the objective. So there is this term in Access we call objective. Like, we already have decided how a life has to be, and everywhere we do not match with that, we are going to make ourselves wrong. And yeah, and that's where these judgments come from. And whenever even if we do this tool of Access of sending back to the source, for me it's like really looking at this judgment and seeing to it where it is really coming from, what is beneath that judgment. And and all I see for myself is, I have made this right, and somewhere I have already decided that there cannot be any other choice. Like, this is the only thing that I have to do, and if I don't get this right, then I'm screwed for life. Which is one of the biggest lie that we buy into from people. So
whole reality of other people is some kind of one big projection and expectation on us, what we should be, what we should do. So like everything around us is some kind of telling us all the time, you need to be this, you should be this, you must be this. And this is something what we are listening our whole life, also what we are listening energetically. And they are like instructions from other people. And if you are not following these instructions from other people, you are wrong. So how much are you trying to follow these instructions from other people to be right? So how much are you creating life for other people so you can judge yourself for whole eternity? And if you don't need to follow what is right for other people, what would you create? What life would you create? Like, if you can create anything, what would you choose of your life? And what if you don't need to follow anymore what you should choose? Because like when you're following this, you need to make yourself right and wrong, good and bad all the time, because you can't be perfect. Nobody's really perfect. If you are doing it perfectly, you have even bigger problem. You need to judge even more. So how much of your life are you creating for other people? So you need to be in self-judgment all the time. How much you are creating your life for your parents? And this, like when we say for our parents, it's fucked up being and strong. Like it's a big deal. So how much are you creating your life to make your parents happy? And when it's time for your happiness, beautiful being, when it's time for your happiness, so are they ever going to be happy? Maybe theoretically possible. And their happiness is also different than your happiness. So what if you can follow your happiness and you don't need to bother yourself so much what other people are choosing as their happiness? Okay. Any more questions?
Harris.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody was
Marwa
first. Somebody said Harry.
Yes. Hello. Hi, Swamy.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see
Harry is
you.
talking about the family.
Oh,
What can you say if they are all the time judging you and they are telling you that you have to choose either to stay as you like and as you choose for your happiness and for your life, or either to choose us?
So yeah, so I
And
think
they all the time judging you and saying that you are a bad girl.
or boy.
And shame for us. Or boy.
Shame. We are too sexy. Our whole life we are too sexy. So it's always shame on us. We shouldn't be so cute. We shouldn't
Yeah,
be
they are
so
all
cute.
the time judging and saying that you're shame on us.
Yeah, shame
I
on
thought,
you.
Swamy,
Okay.
Swamy,
yeah,
I thought this is only in India happening, but no, it's
No,
everywhere.
it's in Egypt too.
it's a global pandemic.
I
Yeah,
thought
it's a
this
global
video
event.
is in India
It's more
only,
bigger
that
than
family
Corona.
itself is saying that you are not fitting with us, not fitting with our thoughts, and that's why you are a bad girl or bad boy, because you are not coming under that, profound boundary of the family thought process. So I thought this is only in India and I should not speak up, but now
It's also on another planet. It's not only on the planet India.
So what you can say for this?
Yeah, I have a point to make here, Kavita here. That was the same thing I was going through. I get extremely irritated when I receive judgment and I can't receive it. I get extremely annoyed and all those things happen to me. And I used to think, what can I do? What can I be or whatever? And like really God's message that day, Dane's talk I heard. Dane's talk on that I don't
Judgment.
remember.
Yeah. Family.
Not judge, not
Fight.
not just no
Okay.
that
Whatever
what is
that is,
it?
you can just
Yeah,
share the crux of it. Yeah.
yeah. I
So
can share the link on this chat. Actually, I'll just look up the link. Actually, what he was
Yes,
saying,
please.
really, yeah, that changed my life. He said that when there is judgment and when your barriers are all up, then you are rejecting everything, even the good things from coming to you. So
yes.
the tool that you have to use here is barriers down. So get all your barriers down and then receive everything, because if you receive everything, even the good things like prosperity, friends, happiness, love, sex, everything will come to you.
Thanks.
But so I was really touched when I heard this and I was quite moved. I'll share the link just now.
Thanks, Kavita, for that
So,
insight.
Swamy, what can you
Thanks,
say
Swamy.
about family and
Yeah.
judgment?
Oh my God. Yeah, there's a lot to share. So I think one
Maybe
of the
we
way. Can you mute?
Maybe, Maybe we can do class just about this.
Oh my God, yeah, it is. It is.
I'm going to
indeed.
mute all
Yes,
now.
please.
Okay, unmute yourself, Samina.
Yeah. So, so I think one of the things that we have been trained since generation is to follow a particular framework. Okay, so there is a framework which each culture and each country has, and if you don't fit into that framework, then you will be judged. And we have our framework of ourselves of how we have to be. It's like there is a story of there is a Scot. Okay, there are two friends, one like very hefty and one very tiny, and they go to a forest, and there is one demon there who changes shape and as a human being. And
We lost you, little Swamy. We lost your voice. You are frozen now for some time. It's probably too much consciousness for internet in India.
hi,
At the
oh
same
my
time.
God, yeah,
Oh my God. Oh
So
my God.
we lost 3 of your sentences.
yes.
Too much consciousness for internet in India.
Yeah, Harris, too much consciousness. Yes.
So
just,
yeah. So in short, for us to fit into the framework, we need to cut pieces and parts of ourselves. We need to divorce certain parts of ourselves so that we can fit into the other people's framework. So family has been in a way created so that there can, one of the way where you can look at is to have control. Okay, and whenever you go out of control, they will judge so that they can control you. And since you have already made judgment wrong, they can use this as a weapon to control you. So if we can present to this thing that, oh my God, okay, how much control is happening through this judgment, and how much I'm letting myself, give up parts of myself so that I can be a good person, I can fit into the framework, how much good I can be. So yeah, if we can become present to that, and then I think it would be more easier to be not at the effect of the judgment. And perhaps you can use the judgment and use it on themselves by out manipulating them. That's a whole different topic actually, Harris. So about out manipulating people and family members. I think that's one of the key skills that especially humanoids should have and learn, to really not to be at the effect of the judgment of the family. Yeah, Harris, you can share something and then I'll perhaps.
Family also, there are people to who we are giving more power over us. Also, this is something what we do in a relationship. So we allow them that they are influencing us more than other people, even if they are terrible with us, even if they make us wrong, they are gaslighting us. They are still family. So, and also when we are in a relationship. So what we are choosing as family and relationship, this is many times the worst people to us. And if your business partner would do the same as your family member, you would finish this business. But because somebody is your family member, then you are still family. So we allow them to be more terrible to us, and then they're using this because they can be. The reason why they are more terrible than other people is because they can be. We allow them. So we decided that we are never going to leave them. If you decided you are never going to leave this person can be awful to you. So what if your family is not going to be contribution to your life, you can just say goodbye to them. Thank you, goodbye. Or you don't need to say totally goodbye. You just don't need to be too much with them. So you don't need to be in conflict. Just like if they are not contribution, you are not going to see each other so much. And this is changing something because they know that they need to be nicer to you if they would like to have you in their life. They just know it, they know energetically, so you are not giving them so much power anymore. So what we do about family, it's a good feeling. So like many people or many of you may be here, but I can't leave my family. This is good feelings that you are using. Like family relationships is about feelings. And what are good feelings about the family is shit from the past. Is how much you are using this to be connected with something from the past. So what if you don't need to keep yourself so much connected with your past? What if future can be much more interesting? We make past very interesting for us because we also buy a point of view that future can't be much better. Like in our head, you know much more about the past than about the future. What if future can be so much more amazing that you don't need to make your life so much about your past? So families, many times family is past. Family is something what you have created until now. Family is past. What can, if you can ask for more future? So you don't need to recreate your past all the time. And how much are you using family? How much are you using relationship? So you don't need to create future. You can recreate the past. So you can create controllable future. And this is why we use also judgments. So we use also these people. So when they judge us, we don't need to do much. We can just use them to stop ourselves. You can't stop yourself alone. You need to use family. You need to use relationship. So they are also stopping you. Interesting choice, beautiful being.
Yeah, and I think something that is coming to me is also this I used to do earlier. Now I use different tools, but if we can really get to the space from where they are coming from, when family member or your friends are judging, you don't have to then judge yourself for them. However, the one thing that we resist dynamically is receiving judgments and receiving criticism. Okay, so however, if we can get to their space, like for example, there's this one question that I used to ask: what could be really going on for them to do this, for them to talk like this? And when I ask this question, I seem to get an awareness. And if I have to, so the level of judgment in my universe would just, shrink. Like I don't have to judge because I know where you're coming from, my friend. I really get it. So yeah, so this is another amazing thing that I have found out that works for me, is to really ask this question: what is going on for them? Because so I just had in one of the group, I just had some person talking about certain thing that I was doing in the class, and then that person judged me for whatever I did, and gave a story of how she was disappointed about it. And I looked at this, and I was like, initially I went to the judgment, and then I looked at it and said, okay, cool. What could be going on for this person? Okay. And then I later on found out that there was so much of trauma that person was facing on that particular day. So it was not about me and what I was doing in the class at all. It was everything to do with the kind of battle and the kind of issues that she was having in her life. So yeah.
Swamy.
Yes.
Yes, I know it all. I know that they are doing to me the same thing it was done on them, I'm not judging them, and I know from which space they are functioning, but I just want to know how to deal with them, because now they are they want to me out of their life because I'm shame on them,
Right.
So I just want to know how to deal with that.
So,
but for me, I'm not judging, and it's okay with me, and I'm not going to change my life. I like myself like this.
Awesome. So
for me, the same thing happens to me also. Even if I understand 100% of why something is being said, but that doesn't help me from being irritated with what's being said.
Yes. At that moment, so there are two things. One which I have been playing with is reaction and action. So the one thing when you could be actually reacting whenever people are judging you, and or you can act and do things that was going to contribute at that moment. So most of the time, whenever we get into conflict, the immediate response is like, if you are trying to dominate me, I'm going to push you and dominate you back. You know, there is a fight that goes on. However, that doesn't create for greater for anyone. And if at that moment, if I can be really present to really see what it is that can create greater, I mean, that is really a great commitment. It requires a great commitment on oneself to really to do and be that creates greater at that moment of time. So this one particular tool of action and reaction, like am I in reaction to this situation, or am I in action? If you can ask that, you would know what you can do. And also, Mava, one other thing that you can do is you need to receive the gift that you are. So when we don't receive the gift, and when we don't receive the phenomenons and the gift that we are to them and to this world, we are going to let their judgment affect us. And if you can really see that, okay, no matter whatever judgment they are passing, however, I know that this is the gift that I am for myself and to them, even though they don't even acknowledge that. The one thing that we do in dynamically is we let them know how much we did for them. You know, you have been judging, however, I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, I have sacrificed so many things for you. So yeah, we don't have to prove to anyone of how good we have been, how right we have been. Because when we try to prove, we have already decided that I have to prove because I have not done really enough. You know, if you know that you have really done whatever needs to be done, you don't owe any explanation to anybody.
That's what I am doing now. That's what I am doing already. I'm not explaining anything because I'm sure of what I'm doing.
Fantastic. So just ask the question, what is going to create better for me now?
Yeah.
Swamy, I'd like to add to that.
Yes.
Yes. So basically, what I have personally noticed is that a lot of times the conditioning, we have internalized it. So even though we have changed and become who we are, the part of them that has told us that this is how it should be has not really left us. So that keeps us from fully accepting ourselves and loving ourselves. And I've noticed that when I fully let go of everything, all of those past conditionings, and I fully accept myself, that is when I can automatically start seeing some changes in the others. You know?
I already look Indian. Look, I look Indian already. Just half an hour of a class. I'm already Indian.
Marwa, did that help you?
I'm going to mute.
Yeah, sure. Now. Thank you very much.
Choose what creates greater for you, my dear. There is no one else who is going to choose for you. We have been choosing for our family.
I choose to be happy.
Absolutely. Great. Proud of you. Go ahead.
May I ask a question?
Can I say something first?
Yeah,
can
sure.
I say something? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Because I look now Indian, I can speak more. Do you see that I changed my look from the beginning of the class?
Yes.
My Indian look is on. So what is also about family? So what if you have chosen your family? What if you have created your family? So how much you chose this family because you knew that they are so stupid that you will never be able to duplicate them. You will never be able to be like them. So how much you chose this family to take for sure that you are going to choose something else? Because if they would be better, maybe you would be just a duplication of them. So what if you are creating everything in your life, and what if you also created your family? And main purpose why we have family or why we have parents is to get the body. And then another thing is to say goodbye to your parents. This is why we have parents, why we have family. So you have a body now, so you can just say thank you for your job. You have done a good job. And now the whole world is waiting for you. and just open to more. They have done their job.
Thank you.
Body.
So may I ask the questions
Yes.
from the Arabic chat? There are some questions. I will. One of them is, can a judgment be positive for us? And a second question is, why do we have fear when we want to do a first step, or, for example, for a business or anything of the change?
So about judgments, positive and negative judgments, they are both judgments. So whatever you are having positive judgment is just something like what you are doing in your head. We are judging in our head, positive, negative, and it's the same. So like also positive judgments are judgments. And also what is fear? Fear is not true. So when you are choosing something new, you can ask yourself, is it fear or excitement? What if you are excited about something? Or what if something is just changing in your body and in your life with your choice? You don't need to define it as fear. You don't need to say that it's fear. It's only energy moving in your body. Maybe it's good that it's moving. Maybe it means that you're alive. So people just interpret some energy movement, some excitement as fear. What if it's not fear? What if it's happiness?
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I have seen that I have behind this particular pattern is about misidentifying and misapplying the different sensation that we experience in our body. And so, yeah, exactly as Harris said, what if it was an excitement? However, this reality told us that if you have this kind of sensation in your body, it has to be fear. And then you have to judge fear, and then you have to make yourself wrong. Okay, and then you have to fight the fear, and and distract yourself from doing what you were originally set out to do. So yeah, that's one another thing. Yes.
Anything else, anybody?
So
Hi,
there's a
Harris.
question.
Hi,
I have a
Swamy.
question. Hello, Harris.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Karima from Algeria.
Hi, Karima.
Well, how do you make the difference, or how do you make the difference between fear and excitement?
You just what is lighter is true. So is it fear or excitement? What is lighter?
What if it's always heavy?
So this is because you are thinking too much. Just relax and enjoy your life. How much are you serious with your life instead of enjoying it? So if you are making your life about survival, this is unconscious space. You already bought a lie that you need to make it about survival. And then many things, when you ask for awareness, it doesn't work because you are already in a lie. So awareness is working better when you are playing life, when you are having fun. And when you are creating too much, awareness doesn't work when you are trying to survive, because to survive, it's a lie. You don't need to survive. So just relax, enjoy your life, and you are going to know everything. Stop being so serious. Stop being Algerian.
I'll be Slovenian then.
Yeah. You can be Slovenian today. This is Slovenian coast, Slovenian sea.
So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for answering, Harris.
Thank you.
Hi, Harris. Hi, Swamy.
Hi, Vilma. Niyati, Vilma, who's that? Okay.
Just speak. Who is speaking?
Hi. So I wanted to ask about judgment and creation of our bodies, right? Like we receive so much judgment from outside all the time, yes. At the same time, we judge our bodies so much when we look in the mirror every day, or when we wear clothes that don't fit us. Can you talk about how can we like stop judging our bodies through all those lenses and perspectives that we've learned throughout our lifetime?
Oh my God, that's so huge and so big. And as you just asked that question, it reminds me of this one particular story of suppose if you have been brought up in an island, okay, where it was told to you that you should not bath, you should not take bath, you should only take bath once in a month, okay, and you should smell, and that's the way to be smart and to be sexy and to be beautiful. And if you look, you know, if you clean your face and if you are dressing up well, then that is so wrong. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is it's all about the way we have been conditioned to believe of how one has to be, how one can be, how one will be received, and when one will be received by other people, and when one will not be received. You know, when you will be appreciated, and when we will be criticized. And also this brings to the this to me brings to another thing about self-image. Like those who really doubt themselves, and you know, those who have a poor self-image about themselves, they can you know, very easily get affected by others' criticism. They would just buy into that. So it is also again about receiving the uniqueness and the phenomenons of you, and being the gratitude instead of being in the judgment of the body. And at the same time, also how much of this is yours, and how much of, yeah, this, I mean, this one thing of who decided that you need to look like this. It's the people who have told us. And yes, I do get it, the space from which you're coming, that when we are living in this reality, and when people are you know, still functioning from that reality, they are going to judge. However, one thing that I really found is, if you don't judge yourself, if you are going to be okay, strangely, they are going to be okay with it. and
they are going to like your body, because you are going to enjoy your body. You are going to be attractive, even if you don't have proper look. You know, somebody who is happy with their body, they are just attractive, even if they don't have proper look. You know, some people, they are just sweet, they are juicy, or they are persona, you know, they are charismatic, even if they don't have proper look, and you adore them, so they don't need to look properly, because they don't judge themselves. They are more beautiful, even if they are not theoretically beautiful for this reality. They don't have stereotype look. Like another thing what I would say also is, if there is no other people on this planet, how would you see your body? If you are alone on this planet, would you like your body more?
Probably
So
yes.
how much are you judging your body for other people? And how much are you judging your body so you can stop your body, so you can make people comfortable? Because if we are happy, if we are happy with our body, we are making other people uncomfortable, because we are contribution to their body, and their body is interested in us. So how much are you judging your body so you don't need to influence other bodies too much?
That's so beautiful, Harris. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Not only about body, I think this can be applicable to everything. Let's not judge ourselves. And if we don't judge ourselves, the other people's judgments will not matter to us, or they'll not even touch us. Am I right?
For me, I call this vulnerability. So when you allow yourself to be totally wrong, when you allow yourself to be totally right, when you allow yourself to be the worst person on this planet, when you allow yourself also to be the best, this is vulnerability. So you don't depend on results. You don't depend on how people see you. This is how you are creating some totally different space. And vulnerability is also how you are opening yourself to receiving, how you are opening yourself to space of infinite receiving. So some kind of, we are using judgments, so we don't need to receive. And we are using judgment, so we don't need to have our life. We are using judgment, so we don't need to be happy. So we are using judgments, so other people like us more. But mostly stupid people like us more if we are creating less. And you are avoiding people which can be really contribution to your life when you are judging yourself.
And also, I mean, if I have to add, I remember this, I don't remember the name of this lady. She had buck teeth, and she wanted to sing in the opera, and I think she went and she presented herself, and the people who were really at the top, they said, you can never sing, you do not belong to this industry. And then, you know, she took that seriously and she went into depression. And then somebody told that this buck teeth, which you are ashamed of, because of which you are judging yourself, this can be your greatest gift. So can you not hide this buck teeth, and can you just show it and just, you know, sing the way you would sing? And she did that, and I think she went on to become one of the famous opera singer. I don't even remember her name. So it again brings back to this point of, it's not actually about the body, it's about the judgment that we have. Like, there are supermodels who are, you know, who have the most desire, like so many people would pay millions to have that kind of body. However, they are still in judgment of their body. So it may not be about the body. It can be about something else, and you have to make something, some object to be in judgment of. So yeah, you can explore that and see if that lightens up.
So
Swamy, even I had read this story. This was in Dale Carnegie book, if I'm not wrong.
And
this
also, like somebody wrote in the chat, Freddie Mercury, Queens.
Yes.
You know.
Oh yes.
They told him that he's never going to sing.
Oh, thank you.
They told him that he's never going to sing, and he was singing also, I think, in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah.
On the stadium.
But,
and you look the bhakti too. Look really good.
Niyati, does that clear your question? Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yes, Kavita and Vilma. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so the best thing I heard today was you were saying that we resist judgment so much, which is coming from others. And the best part is we judge ourselves much more than others do. That contributes to their judgment.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
I have something to say also to contribute to bodies here. So it's a question: how many judgments of other people are you keeping in your body, and how much are you trying to change them? And what if you don't need to do this anymore?
Wow.
So how much are you taking judgments from everybody when you are trying to change them, when you are trying to understand them? And what if you don't need to do this anymore, and you can uncreate and destroy it? Bottom block.
So Niyati, was it about you?
Wow,
You were
that's
asking,
a
is
big...
it your body? I mean, your body.
Yes,
you are
because
in pretty good
yeah,
shape.
but like yeah, but like my body changes a lot depending on where I am, you know. So like I come to India and suddenly I put on weight, I go elsewhere, I lose it, and there's this constant fluctuation which I don't understand why it's happening or what is that I'm doing. And I guess what Harry just said about judgments of other people and pulling them out, I think somewhere that is reading very lightly on me. Also, I don't know how to make my body stop doing that.
There is something perhaps I can share and let me contribute. Harris, you would like to speak first?
Yeah, like you can just say, and I'm going to say something later.
So
I can remember.
Thank you. So so it also depends on the people who are there around us. If our body is feeling unsafe, it is going to put on weight. If somewhere in your childhood, if in that vicinity there was a person who would have been a threat, where you felt that person as a threat, so to protect yourself, your body can look ugly so that you feel protected. So most of the time, it is a self-defense mechanism of the body to protect oneself and to feel safe. Like one of the primary objective of your brain and body is to keep you safe, survival mode. So yeah, so because when you are changing location, perhaps you are feeling safer there. So you may just want to ask question, for whom is my body changing?
Wow.
For whom is my body, from whom my body is trying to protect me from? Perhaps, you can play with this question. That is also because I have come across a lot of clients who had this, and when they shifted their location and shifted with their friends, and moved away from certain family members, they felt safe and they lost weight and they looked the best and they could, yeah. So you may explore, you may want to just explore that as well.
Wow, yeah, I will. Thank you, Swamy.
Yeah, welcome. Vilma can go next. She has been waiting for long.
So what we also do with judgments, especially judgments of our body, we are avoiding to be sexy. We are like, what means sexy? Sexy means that you are an energetical contribution to other bodies. Sexy means that you are choosing to be alive, that you are choosing to be happy with your body. And people are connecting this with physical sex. They see sexy as physical sex. So when you are interrupting their body, when you are contribution to their body, it's reminding them on sex. So how much are you avoiding to be alive with your body? How much are you avoiding to be an energetical contribution to other bodies with your happy body? Because people see it as copulation, people see it as physical sex. So how much do you need to kill your body so people don't judge themselves too much because they are sexually interested in you?
Wow.
This can be so big, especially if you are in
Wow.
India.
Exactly.
And if
Yeah,
you,
so
I
you
think,
can,
absolutely, yes.
you can recognize this when you were a young girl, a young boy, how much you were influencing other bodies, how much you were turning them on, because when your body is alive, you are making other bodies alive. And people in this reality, when they have a live body, they think it's time for sex because they have a live body every 30 years when they are doing sex. So they were judging themselves because they were thinking that they are pedophiles, and how much you were judging yourself because you were aware of their judgments about themselves. And sometimes what if you were also teasing them, so you were feeling guilty after that because you were also naughty sometimes, making them very uncomfortable with your cute little ass, and then maybe you felt little wrong to hide from yourself how much you enjoyed that you were making them uncomfortable.
Wow. Yeah.
So how much are you avoiding to be sexy and hot? So how much are you killing your body so you are not so big contribution to other bodies? And how much are you destroying your finances when you are judging your body? How much you are uninviting people to your life? How much you are uninviting money when you are judging your body? So how much you are uninviting your whole life when you are judging your body?
Oh my God, yes.
So what can happy body create, and how big invitation and influence to life of people can you be if you allow yourself to be happy, and if you allow yourself that you have happy body, and you really choose that you never make this beautiful magical body wrong again. It's a choice. You can choose it now to never make yourself wrong again, and never make this magical body wrong again. Body is a miracle. You know that body is miracle. Apple still can't create the body. Tesla can't create the body. You know, they can create only car or phone. So body is total magic. There is no scientist which can create a body.
Yeah, and
wow.
If I may just add one more thing that is coming is like the only true partner with whom you are going to live, excuse me, for life is your body. Yeah, and how much can we acknowledge the contribution of our body because of which we are able to enjoy life? You know,
yeah.
You get this energy that if we can be if we can be in gratitude of the amazing things that we get to enjoy and we get to experience in this lifetime, is all because of body. And if we can acknowledge that and be in gratitude of that, I think in the face of that gratitude, perhaps many of these judgments, self-judgments around body can melt.
So body is our main relationship, and body is our main business. And if this business, if this relationship doesn't work, it's influencing your whole life. And if this relationship works, if you are happy with your body, is creating so much different life. So it's our main business. Body is our main business. Body is our main relationship, like what Swamy said. And it's creating something totally different when you open yourself to happiness and joy with your body. This is how you create totally different life. And people just know it. Other bodies, they just know it. When your body is happy, it's just wow. Everybody, they just feel it. It's different space, it's different movement of the body.
There is something else that is coming up. I'll just share in one sentence. So we also have an like this society has already defined, if you have a great sexy hot body, this is how people are going to be. Okay. And when and then we make that as right and the best, we have to been in this best shape. And when we are not, so even if we are in the best shape and if we don't get that kind of reaction from people, we make our body wrong. So it's more about, we judge ourselves because others are not appreciating us. And it again boils down to this thing of how much are you appreciating your own body. And I remember way back in my engineering, I had no girlfriends. Nobody would be my girlfriend. I would have a lot of friends who are girls and a lot of my friends who would leave their girlfriends with me to take care when some crisis happened. But I personally would never have my own girlfriend. And I would judge myself so much left and right that, perhaps I'm black, perhaps I'm not good looking. However, I have always been surrounded by, girls, but hardly any males. So because I was not willing to look, in spite of my other male friends would say, oh my God, how lucky you are. You are surrounded by girls. But I said, what is the point? I don't have a girlfriend. They are somebody else's girlfriends. So the point that I'm trying to make is how much I'm already in judgment of my body that I cannot see the gift that it is being to all other bodies around. Just because this society has already defined that if you are good looking, then you can have a great girlfriend. Something of that sort. So it's again trying to fit. We need a validation from this society so that we can finally acknowledge how good our body is, how amazing our body is, how phenomenal our body is. And I remember I worked through this and I got a girlfriend. And since then, the way I would walk and talk would be like, it just shifted. So yeah, it just, perhaps you may have to just play with this if this opens up something. It did open up for me a lot. And yeah, since then I have been a very different energy of gratitude towards my body. And, yeah.
So you could just use what I was using. Like, I have a girlfriend, I could say the name and second name of girlfriend, and she was just on another location, like girlfriend, you can have a girlfriend, but she is from another part of India, You could just lie, I lied.
I get it.
Thank you so much, both of you. That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Vilma, please.
Could I just, oh, sorry. I
We
just
have
wanted to clarify.
almost last question. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Mama.
Okay. When it comes to self-judgment, I have stopped judging myself in a lot of places, but I keep judging my creations. And I always judge them not as right, wrong, good or bad, but very small. Like, no matter how large the creation is in comparison to my last creation, my target is so huge, then I feel, oh, I wanted so much and I got only this. How do I get out of that?
So Vilma from Great Britain.
Yes.
Hello. So maybe you are already out of it. Okay. So maybe it's not a problem anymore. Maybe it was a problem somewhere in the past. So when we are bothering ourselves too much with something what is already gone, it's what we are using, so we don't need to create more. So how many complications and problems are you using so you don't need to create beyond what you decided what is normal for you. This is why people are complicating and they are having these comparisons and problems. You don't want to create more. So how much are you keeping small life, and how many problems are you using to keep yourself having a small life? What if you are rather solving problems than to be surprised with something new?
Okay.
Yeah, because this was like Harris. I was there in one of the Harris call when I was having a very tough time expanding my business, and it was so heavy for my body, and there was so much hard work that I was doing to manage everything, and I was killing my creation because I have so one tool that I had used is how much am I projecting. How much am I not trusting the universe? How much I'm not trusting in the process of let me ask a question and let the universe show up the awareness instead of I deciding how my future has to be. So it is everywhere where you are judging is because you have decided that this is how things have to be, and only then money can come, people can come, and perhaps I can be safe, or I can thrive or survive for that matter. You need to see that for yourself. And the one thing that I began to use after, I think it was the Earth call by Harris, like what contribution can I be to the Earth? Oh my God, this one question, it shifted my entire energy around all of my business creations. What contribution can I truly be? Universe, show me. And everywhere, I'm not willing to know, be, perceive, and receive this. I just want and get all of that. And I have been repeating this thousands of times. What contribution can I be? What contribution can I be, and what embodiment of magic that the earth is and that I am, that I'm not acknowledging here.
Yeah, what energy, space, and consciousness can me and my body be to be the biggest contribution to this planet that we can be? And also, like this was opening some different space than before. Like how much in your business before you didn't like so much business because you were afraid of failure. And when you open to Earth, it's not so much about targets and failures. Creation is not so linear, it's more space. So even if you have failure, you just enjoy your life. You get like how much you didn't like business before because you were afraid of failure. You didn't like that maybe it's going to be a failure and you didn't want to be disappointed. Now you can't be disappointed because even if you are going to have a failure, you still have everything.
So Harris, can I also acknowledge, as Swamy is acknowledging the Earth call and my body class with you in India?
You can.
You allow me?
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me. Is totally beyond words. So how Swamy is saying is like, I always connected with Earth and I always had some awareness with Earth. But after my body class, I really started living the joy of embodiment, who I truly be. And my life is totally 360 degrees different, guys, after Harris body class, which I attended in India. So
I can watch for that.
If anybody is looking, to have a change, just go attend his body class and you will have all the joy and ease of living on this planet, guys. And thank you, Harris. And thank you, Swamy, for choosing and being the energy of joy you truly be.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Ritu, as a gratitude to you, I can tell you what your name means in Slovenian language.
Oh, please tell, what is it?
Are you ready?
I'm ready, totally.
Yes.
Wow. So I'm willing to be that ass.
Yeah. So
yes, that changes the world.
We were talking a lot about creation with S. So
wow.
What if you are one big amazing creator?
Yes, I am. And I acknowledge each part and each name, whatever it means, without any judgment. I don't care what it is, but I am here to contribute the energy, what I can perceive is possible on this planet. And Harris has been one of the magical beings who is on this journey. So I truly, truly grateful to him.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And thank you for your questions during the body class. You know, the questions. Are you hungry? Are you hungry, Harris?
Yeah.
And around the 3-letter word.
No, like, how old are you, Harris? Are you hungry, Harris?
Harris, any other earth calls coming up?
Yes,
It's
1st of July.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah, next week is Earth Call.
Yeah, 1st of July.
Wow. Where can we
probably-
see this and where can we get the link?
It's harris.si, Harris C. It's always on the same page. Earth Call is already published. So 1st
Okay,
July you can register. So we
And
have
I-
been sorry.
Yeah, and I would highly recommend Harris Earth Call. I mean, the Earth Call has been such a huge contribution to me, an entirely different way of living. Like as Wilma had asked this question, like, oh my God, I am at such a ease and peace with how my business have to be, and I am so much less controlling, trying to control the business, and I'm so much willing to now be in the question. So, I would just like to add this: how much are you in already judgment of what cannot change, because of which you are not even asking the universe for that change, because you have decided that you need to have this and this and this to to have this kind of change. So like for me, like I was doing a lot of work myself, and I was not willing to hire people because I have decided that I did not have enough money to pay them. Let me earn a good money and let me pay them, let me hire later. And now what I did, I was asking for people to show up for whom I can easily pay and they can do this task. And I can focus on my creation. And in this last 2 months, I have 2 people I have hired. I didn't have money when I hired them. I just made a demand to the universe, and I was like willing to do anything to have this ease. And yeah, and then things started changing. So be in the question of whatever you are desiring, see how much judgment you have, because of which you're not even asking for that from the universe. So just ask.
Swamy, how do you ask the universe?
This is after creation of millions class.
Oh, yes, I should acknowledge that. That was one class, creation of millions. That very same day, I decided to hire that person, and all the social media stuff that is going on has been done with this person. And I have another friend, she's already there in this call, and they are doing amazing work. And I have been asking questions: what would it take for me to have all the money to come to me with total ease, to pay to all the people whom I'm hiring, and also for all the expenses, and 10 times more in the bank account with total ease.
Wow.
And everything that doesn't allow me to know, be, and receive this, I destroy and get all of that.
Wow. Who was this millions call with?
Harris Omanovic. It's going to be there again in July.
Yeah, it's creation of millions 3-day class, which is also online in July. 3 days of creation of millions.
It has a unique energy, very unique energy. I mean, so different from, I have done a lot of access classes in this last 18 months. However, this class has, of course, all the classes has a unique energy. However, this class, Harris is a different energy altogether, and the class itself has a different energy, and that opens up some space.
Yeah, you start to create from some totally different space. Absolutely. And some totally different space than other people. You start to see life differently, and different things start to show up.
And I think I should acknowledge, Harris, I think it was only on that class that I perceived that it is more of a space. It's like earlier I would be, okay, give me questions that I can ask, give me clearing that I can ask to change. And I think it was in that class that I realized that it is more of the space, and perhaps questions and clearings are also not that essential. And if you can just be in this different space, you be the energy of question. And I think to tell you vulnerably, I thought it will take me 10 years to be the energy of my questions that I'm asking. And after that class, I mean, in that 3 day itself, the shift that I've experienced is I became the energy of certain questions. So that has been absolutely magical. So,
yeah, this is why we are doing these classes. And so we are creating so much more and changing so much more and faster. And I'm grateful to all of you here that we can be this. And Nina, would you like to say something for the end? Nina, are you still here?
Hi. All I came up was when you and Swamy were talking about never make the body wrong. And earlier you had said, if you're judging, just like it. Could you put those two together?
So the thing is nothing. So how we can keep judgment is only because we judge that we judge. So if you don't judge that you judge, if you recognize that you like judgment, you are creating them. You are using judgment. So can you say, I like to judge my body? Can you say,
I like to judge my body.
I like to judge my body. Can you repeat it 3 times?
I like to judge my body. I like to judge my body. I like to judge my body.
So this is the only fact that I'm going to get today.
Thank you.
So when you self-judge yourself every day, this is how you fuck yourself every day, and this is almost the only fucking you're getting. So good luck, enjoy today.
How did you know?
It's my job to know, you know. People paid me to know. So,
Aris, I found the earth call. I'm registering right away.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank
you.
Is
country
everybody.
pricing applicable?
No, we don't do countries on these online classes.
No problem. Thank you so much.
We are the same country. So
we are all the same.
So yeah,
I want to add something before we finish.
Yeah, okay.
I attend the foundation with you here in Saudi Arabia, and I recommend the money class to my friend, the creation one, and she is now the deputy of the Minister of Tourism here in Saudi Arabia, and she's very happy, and she always do gratitude. Imagine, deputy of Minister of Tourism here in Saudi Arabia.
So she can help me with some special visa for Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just wanted to add that as a contribution from me and her. Thank you, Harris. Thank you, Swamy.
Thank you so much for the question and sharing that.
Like touristic part of Saudi Arabia is very important for opening of Saudi Arabia. Yes. Because people more they are traveling and more people from abroad, if they are coming, it's harder to be limited, you know, it's harder to be stupid. So tourism is like opening windows of Saudi Arabia for more change.
What else is possible?
What else is possible?
What else is truly possible?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Swamy.
Thank you, Harris.
Thank you, Harris.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Swamy. Thank you, Swamy. Thank you, Harris.
Thank
you, Harris. Thank you, Swamy. That was amazing.
Thank you, Mimi. Úžasný hovor. Děkuji, děkuji.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Děkuji.
Adios. Taky krásný den všichni a těším se, že se nás setkáme. Ciao dall'Italia.
Thank you. Bye.
Obrigada, Harris. Thank you.
So welcome.
Grazie a entrambi.
Love you all. Love you all, guys.
Vediamo tutti.
Sometime, somewhere.